Hey guys, on November 6, 2019, a group of Uber Lyft drivers, under the support of gig labor union and San Francisco supervisor, had another protest at Google Venture in San Francisco to speak up their words about fairness in labor. On this occasion, KTVU had come and reported on the news.
Or care to the havoc that might cause on our lives. Google Ventures is irresponsible investing on a massive scale, as we've seen here, and instead of investing with morals and to do good in their community, they have chosen to double down on the exploitation of workers and seek a bloated excess profits. This has to stop. And we must hold these people accountable. That's why we're here today. These are the men behind the curtain, pulling the strings that force us into poverty. We live in our cars and struggle every day to live, driving every available minute just to survive so these people can buy a bigger mansion while claiming they can't afford to pay us. Thank you for being here. When drivers fight, we win. We are here today because we've had enough. Unlock my value. We're going to hear from Supervisor Gordon Marr. Is he? Excuse me, next one. He's on his way.
Go Bears! Go Bears!
Go Bears. We're talking today about unlocking value and what is the value that the company actually puts on drivers. So while Uber and Lyft have come out and the other companies have come out and said that they're not going to comply with AB5, that they don't believe they are an employer, that they're going to continue to operate without respecting the labor standards that California has established for all workers in this state, they came out with their own ballot initiative. And that ballot initiative is designed to undo the protections that were put in place in AB5. And they're saying we're going to create our own standard. And they say that standard is 120% of the minimum wage. So we read the initiative closely and did a few calculations. So the minimum wage in 2021, when it goes into effect, is $13 an hour. Note that's the minimum wage for small businesses. It doesn't specify in the law which it is, but we assume since they say the drivers are small businesses, that's what they meant. And they say it's 120%, so that gets us to $15.60. Sounds like something, not the protections that drivers would have if they were workers, but it's something. But then we went and said, okay, what does this actually cover? We know that it only includes engaged time and excludes all the time that you work between rides. Now, you know, you can't do a shift. You can't go out and work for 2 hours or 4 hours or 8 hours without having that time between rides. So they exclude that time. They also exclude the expenses that you incur during that time. And we know from research that a third of the driver's driving time is during that waiting period, either deadheading back or circling waiting for the next ride. So we got to add those expenses in. And then we note that they say they're counting for reimbursement only 30 cents a mile. We know 30 cents a mile is well below the actual cost of maintaining and operating a vehicle and paying for gas and cleaning the car, etc. So we make a little adjustment for that as well. They say they're going to offer a healthcare stipend, but we figured out that that's actually only going to be available to a very, very small number of drivers. But we generously add a little bit in for that, say, okay, there's some people who are going to get it. And then, of course, we have to adjust to say, well, people don't get the protections that they would have under AB5. They don't get the protections of the employer share of payroll taxes. You don't get the protections of paid time off in terms of paid sick leave, paid meal breaks, paid rest breaks. Don't get the value of unemployment insurance. Well, they offer some minor occupational injury insurance. It's way, way, way below the standards that are required by law for the state of California. It's only very temporary disability. They cap the amount they've spent on that you can get in terms of health care were you to be seriously injured. And so we put all that together and we come up with an estimate that the actual value per hour of their guarantee is $5.64 an hour. So today, while we see, and many of them will cash out and see what value they gain, we have a clearer sense of what value it is they're putting on their drivers. One last point. They make this argument, and in their response to us, they've said, well, we're not counting the value of flexibility. There's no way we could be flexible while meeting higher labor standards. Well, we actually know that that's not true. In New York City, right now, they are paying a higher per mile and per minute standard that is calculated to get people to the wage equivalent of $15 an hour, taking into account waiting time and taking into account those miles driven between rides. They're doing that right now, and Uber's CEO, Dara Khosrowshahi, said in their discussion.
I was at the release of that ballot initiative and got a look at the ballot initiative, and I did some quick math on just based on trips I'd taken the previous weekend and what that pay cut looked like, just without figuring in all the other added expenses and stuff that often get overlooked by drivers. And this guy actually did a very thorough review, and it was out, I believe, the next day. So amazing work on that, and appreciate those partners in the community that have recognized the issue and worked to.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joseph Bryan. I'm the president of SEIU 10 to 1. We represent over 60,000 workers in Northern California, and we're here to let you know that we are here with you in this fight. It is going to be a difficult fight. It's a challenging fight, but we are here in support of the workers. We want to thank you all for your relentlessness, for your fearlessness. Without the workers that are here today, we would have never gotten AB 5 passed. Let's make some noise for AB 5. And AB 5 is the start. And I'm peeved today. I'm upset today. Today is the day that the workers who built this company, that came from a startup just a few years ago, turned into $1 billion behemoth on the backs and legs and shoulders of the workers. And today, those executives, those staff from the companies get a cash out on millions and millions of dollars. But what at the same time are they doing for the workers? They're coming up with a ballot measure, investing collectively over $140 million to do what Ken just said, and to set not a livable wage, but a wage that they want so they can continue to rake in billions of dollars. And are we gonna accept that? No. Are we gonna accept that? No. So we have to be in this together.
Thanks for coming today. My name is Erica Maggetto. I'm a driver of 3 years and 6,000 rides. I started 3 years ago when I thought the pay was reasonable. I slept in my car and I worked 60 hours a week at times, but I was able to get by. But over 3 years of driving, my pay has gotten worse and worse. And now these app-based companies are putting hundreds of millions of dollars into a ballot initiative that will cut my pay even more. If you work on the platform, you know that Uber and Lyft are constantly making changes. Well, I say it's about time they start making changes that actually benefit drivers. Uber has spent a decade tracking algorithms in an effort to squeeze every red cent out of drivers and passengers, and they're making investors at Google Ventures rich in doing so. I want to know this: where is the driver's fair share? Why don't I get to live off of my hard work? I want to thank drivers who came here today to stand up against corporate greed. And I want to tell you that you are valued. We do one of the most dangerous jobs out there, and we provide a service to our communities, a valuable service. My great-grandfather was also a driver for nearly 40 years. He lived a modest but happy life, and he died in his trailer home in Clear Lake, where we spent many summers together in his retirement. All drivers deserve at least that kind of retirement. All drivers deserve the kind of retirement and to be able to support their families. There is no reason why Google Ventures should make billions of dollars while drivers like myself are quite literally becoming homeless. Uber and Lyft drivers deserve better pay, benefits, transparency, and a voice at work. We deserve dignity. Dignity for drivers. Dignity for drivers. Dignity for drivers. Dignity for drivers. Dignity for drivers.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming here. I did so many protests here in San Francisco since 2014. I don't feel good all the time when I see Uber and Lyft. They put the driver the last thing they care about. I mean, when this started, I don't know if anyone here has been here for like a long time. When we were going to the Uber office, it was here in Mission, in Howard. We said, hi partner, how are you? How we can help you? We give you a donut and coffee. And they would care about us. After that, they bigger and larger, and all the drivers, they try to get off the old drivers. We are here because today, the investors, the one they make Uber, have like that value is us. Those people, the one they put their money with Uber today, they're gonna have the first cash out. Uber now, it's $120 billion, and the drivers now we are making almost 30% for what we were making before. This is never okay. Uber and Lyft,
Unlock my value! Unlock my value! Unlock my value!
Awesome, guys.
Hey everyone, boy, it's great to be out here at this powerful action demanding jobs with justice. And we're all here today because there's a crisis in San Francisco and in Uber itself. We have the highest housing costs and the largest income gap in the country. And as the tech companies, their executives and their investors get richer, working people in our city, in our region, continue to struggle to get by. And they're struggling even while working 2 to 3 jobs, or in the case of Uber drivers, working 70 to 80 hours a week. We're here today because we stand in solidarity with drivers and workers in this city, in this region, this country, and the world, and saying enough. Today, when Uber's IPO lockout ends, billions of dollars in new wealth will flood this city and the pockets of executives and investors.
It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. All right.
Uber and Lyft, you know. My name is Mufid. From Yemen. I have been driving with Uber and Lyft for 4 years. 4 years. And I am working between 7 o'clock to 12 o'clock midnight, every day, 7 days a week. We have a driving everywhere in the Bay Area. San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose. Before when I drive, when Uber start, we gotta make is it good. But you know, right now, after 2016, we don't pay the bill for my insurance, for my payment card. I broke all of 2 cards with Uber and Lyft. And after that, 6 months ago, Lyft cruising to my app, and I have almost like 6 drivers with me for no reason. And they get out. You know, we have kids, we have 4 kids. And another guy, he driving with me, almost he have 3 kids. And we are now only working with Amazon. What's the reason? He doesn't see any reason. He says, we're gonna call you later. He doesn't call for nobody.
Oh, I'm so sorry that Supervisor Manaman couldn't be here. He's at Budget Committee, but I just came to say quickly that we stand in solidarity with you all. And as Supervisor Martin mentioned, the Board of Supervisors in July unanimously passed a resolution in support of AB 5, which Supervisor Mandelman sponsored. And so we know we continue to stand with you, and we're looking at what we can do from a local level to shore up protections for gig workers, because we know that the fight is not over. Even though we believe that AB 5 is a law of the land, we will continue to fight with you here at the Board of Supervisors. So thank you for all you're doing, and you know your fight is really inspiring to watch. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Unlock my value. It doesn't have to be this way. Unlock my value. It doesn't have to be this way. Unlock my value. It doesn't have to be this way. Unlock my value. It doesn't have to be this way. Unlock my value. It doesn't have to be this way. Thank you, guys. Yeah!